Guys, you're looking at infrared images from the satellites looking down over both Texas, Oklahoma, and Nebraska, bringing some much needed moisture into this area. And it's really forming from this area. Now, we're also seeing it move around this high pressure area. Look at that. Now it's looping back down into Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, along the Gulf Coast here. And we've seen this blocking pattern many times. Now, the one bad thing is that we're not getting the moisture over the four corners. We are getting it on the edges, though, and that's better than nothing, right? Never complain about rain. That's my motto for the last several years after going through some droughts. But this high pressure, as it moves in on these domes, guys, it can take away as much moisture as it forces into the system. Look at what it has done to the system they had been watching for about a week now, right here in the Atlantic. It was a 10 and a 20% chance going back and forth of development, but you see this warmer, dry air pushing in here. Check that out. That's dampening it down, and they've even removed it from any possibility on all of the maps now. And again, my concern is this effect of the El Nino moving up and pushing everything to the east is affecting the Four Corners area very much. You can, again, see Nebraska in this area, but I'm going to go to the natural view on the satellite where we can see exactly what's happening. Here we're seeing moisture, but let's change that. Here's our north of Sedona fire that's been going on for a while. Guys, look at this. There's a fire here. Here, this is kind of two fires, very large. Here, and I saw one earlier, yes, down into New Mexico, right there. See that? And so this is where we need it. We're not getting it. It's the same thing that's happening over us. We're under high dome. We can't get the moisture right where we need it in the center, but it is circulating the edges, just like it is down in Mexico from below here. But some of these are, guys, it's zero moisture, high winds. I was watching local Colorado news this morning, and they had reporters out in the field with the smoke, mountains in the back and all, and the wind was tremendous. I don't know how you can fight that, especially over such large areas. Again, here, the north of Sedona fire going through the canyons, and the other two fires that we've been watching here. Again, New Mexico, you watch this fire and anything that it can generate out in front of it. The very eastern edge of New Mexico is getting some moisture. Maybe by some miracle, El Nino will let up. Guys, if we just had these big clouds here over these fires, it would help so much. But it's not only getting there, it's not getting into the Colorado River system that's so needed because of Lake Powell and Lake Mead and the upstream dams from there. It is definitely drying out. We mentioned last night that we're in the Anthropocene, which is, again, classified as the first man-made age change of the planet, the first age created by man and not a natural event. Get a close-up on the Sedona fire, and it's been moving up this ridge, and they had warnings out because it's not really a lot of roads in the area from what I understand, but a lot of places where people hike and camp and they don't want them trapped. So I think they've sent rangers through there kind of checking on folks, things like that. And looking at a close-up here, guys, again, mountainous areas, hard to deal with, hard to get equipment in and out. All 3 or 4 of these fires that we're seeing, actually it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, are pretty dry, and they are in difficult places to get into. Now, again, what we're seeing is most of the burning, of course, would be in these deep green forests, or they were when the map was made, right? Anyway, this is New Mexico, guys. Just keep an eye on it. And like I said, the embers in this wind can blow upstream. We've seen it happen a lot of times, so we got a lot of friends there. And just keep an eye on it. If it's dry in your area, make sure your yard's kind of cleaned up. You don't want any dried high grass or dangerous bushes and things like that if you can help it. Make sure that you're prepared the best way you can, even with water hoses if needed. But first of all, heed all evacuation warnings. If it's a level 1, it means get ready, get packed, be ready to go instantly. Above that, you need to be gone. 2 and 3 means get gone and stay gone until it's all clear. And we've talked about, and it's different, we're getting different information, but first they were going to sacrifice Powell, save Meade, then sacrifice Meade to save Powell. And for what I haven't heard any different from that. Sometimes the numbers will indicate different things. These are 14-day averages going up to yesterday. Now, what the problem is, I've mentioned it before, is your inflow is half of your outflow. That's not going to last very long, especially at these low inflow rates. And if you look at the average for June 29th, the average inflow is 20 cents field is 27,000, all on 208 cubic feet per second. All time fill is 28,522. Now that is averages for June 29th. But look now, going from 28,000 on your inflow to 4,445, and then the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, not much change at all. It's locked in on that. So we're looking at a dying system, draining one pool at a time. And what all that's going to do, again, we're at Meade, we're at 1044, I think 0.81, something like that. We're just a little over 4 feet from 40 or 1040, which is the low record, and 9 feet from 1035, and the problems that will be incurred at that point. But right here, when you have an inflow like that, that's why I'm concerned about Powell. When you're outflowing twice that much to get down to Meade, when a good bit of this evaporates in that 260 miles of canyon between Meade and Powell. But again, that's the inflow to Powell. That would be coming from Fontenelle, Green River areas, things like that. And the outflow is doubled. Now, just looking at Meade for a second, guys, every once in a while you'll get a number like 0.01 when they're really getting a lot of inflows and they're cutting down on their outflows. See right here on Sunday, June 28, 909 or 9,009 cubic feet a second inflow, 9942 outflow, trying to balance it out and keeping that number down. But yesterday's 0.14 is a little higher today. But what we're seeing again is this. You look at the averages for June 29th at Lake Meade. The average inflow for the date is 16,112 cubic feet a second. Compare that to 9,358. The average outflow for the date is 15,820, 15,820 cubic feet per second. So, guys, we're at 11,509, and this is not going to sustain very much longer because why? We just saw Meade is getting cut back drastically while increasing their output to get these numbers. If it wasn't for these 9 cubic feet per second outflows from the getting into Meade, then we would be very close to 1040 right now. But again, that's my concern, that they're saying they're going to sacrifice Meade to save Powell, but the numbers tell a different story. That could change, and I realize it. But I don't want to keep this long and drawn out. I just want to touch base with you on the weather, the fires, and the situation here. Maybe we can get some rain over into the Four Corners area and north of there up into Utah. I hope so. But it's not looking that great. Let's look at one more satellite image since I brought that up. And guys, the story has not changed. The only thing different since May when we started watching this particular satellite image is it has moved further to the east. That's why we're seeing the moisture being blocked that would normally come up during monsoon seasons and warm summer storms, things like that, and give the Four Corners a break. Just not happening. Everything's moving back east over the Rio Grande. Just no moisture available. Now, even though we're under a high pressure zone and not getting the rain in the center here, our humidity is very high, putting the heat index very high also, 115, 116 heat index of the last few days. Just a quick update, guys. It's late. We're watching it. You watch it. Our Father loves you. We love you guys. Be safe.